Good morning. We are glad to have you with us today for this webinar on the NYSBDC's Bidmatch service. I'm your moderator, Jenny Alton, from the New York Small Business Development Center's Central Office. This webinar, I just want to make sure I say this right at the beginning. I'll mention it a few more times, but this webinar is part of our contracting and certification series. There will be one more webinar coming up on the 29th of this month, and that one will cover certifications. And I will drop information in the chat about that in a moment. The NYSBDC is a U.S. Small Business Administration resource partner with regional centers at higher education institutions and outreach offices at other locations across New York State. Our free advising, education, advocacy, and research services are made possible by funding from the SBA, New York State, and our host campuses. I am very pleased to introduce our own Gina Hayduk, who is the NYSBDC Government Contracting Coordinator and an advisor at the Mohawk Valley SBDC. Today, attendees are muted and will not be on camera. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to drop them in the chat or the Q&A box, and we will address those questions at the end of Gina's presentation. With that, I will turn the time over to Gina.
Well, thank you. And I will get my screen up. So good morning and thank you, Jenny. Today I'm going to take you through the different types of bidding in SBDC's bid matching system, and then a sample of one of the bidding platforms. Just a little sample of everything so you can see how bidding is cared for. There are four types of solicitations in the bidding process. First, businesses should have a thorough understanding of the vocabulary of procurement, and the most commonly used procurement words and phrases can be found in the glossary of terms in New York State procurement guidelines. The four primary types of solicitation are as follows: a request for quote, a request for information, invitation for bid, or a request for proposal. And we'll go through each one of those quickly. So a request for quote or quotation, which is called an RFQ, is a document that is used to invite suppliers to submit price bids for standardized products or services. It is part of a competitive bidding process where buyers seek to obtain quotes from multiple vendors to compare pricing and terms. RFQs are commonly used when the requirements are clear and well-defined, allowing for straightforward price comparisons. The request for information, which is an RFI, is a research and information gathering document used when an agency seeks to learn about the options available for addressing a particular need or want to obtain information to help create viable requirements for a potential solicitation. And it also provides a preliminary description of objectives and specifications and solicits input from offers as to the availability of products and services to meet the agency's needs. In other words, information. The invitation for bid, which is an IFB, is a formal request used to solicit bids from potential vendors or service providers. Primary focus on price differences, and IFP typically includes specifications for the proposed purchase, instructions for the bid preparations, and conditions for the purchase, delivery, and payment. So additionally, it's an invitation for bid that can also refers to the integrated framework for business processing. So it's so you can have a system that helps organize, manage their procurement processes for more effectivity. And then lastly, the most frequent and more extensive type is a request for proposal, which is an RFP. And a request for proposal is written that outlines the agency's need and solicit proposals for the product and or services. A request for proposal is generally used for the procurement of services or technology in situations where price is not the sole determination factor, and the reward will be based on a combination of cost and technical factors in the best value. So best value means the government's estimation provides the greatest overall benefit to the government. may not be the lowest price, but it takes into consideration the quality, cost, and efficiency. Through its proposal, the bidder offers a solution to the objects, problem, or need specified in the RFP and defines how it extends to meet or exceed the RFP's requirements. Appropriate planning is essential for a successful RFP. The first step is to view the process as a project and to develop a timeline of events to meet the agency's programmatic needs and effectively budget staff time. It is also essential to focus on and develop the contract scope of services and deliverables that are required before proceeding to develop the methodology for evaluating proposals. And take note, if a vendor participates in the development or writing of the specifications for the RFP, that company is generally prohibited from participating in the procurement. It's almost like insider trading. Contracts are awarded to the responsive and responsible proposer, offering the best value, as we discussed before. So this one is the all nuts and bolts. It's everything. It's the biggest option, and it also will yield great return. So now, with all that said, and you have the framework from the different types of the bids, let's look at the bid matching program. As a client of the SBDC, you will have access to the bid matching program. It's also a free service from the SBDC. Our bid matching program is a very robust system that will check over 750 sites in New York State alone and over 3,000 in the United States and its subsidiaries. And think about that. If it's checking over 3,000 sites daily, that's somebody doing a lot of work if you have to. And I don't think you can get through the 3,000. So it has its great qualities. In your discussion with your business advisor, you express a need for more work. If you express a need for more work, or if you are looking to pivot your company, they may offer you the bid matching program. Also, if you think you would like to explore it, you can ask your advisor to enroll you. It's as easy as asking. The first step is for you to receive an email with the form for you to fill out. It will look like the info in the red oval on the left-hand side of the page, so you can know what you'll be getting from your advisor. And so I put it in email form for you to see. On the right hand, you will see what of the screen, you will see what the form will look like and should be fully fillable. So it should be, you'll be able to check boxes and whatnot. I have shown you steps 1 and 2 of the 5 steps. Now, I say 5 steps. As a business, it should only take you 10 to 15 minutes to fill this out because you know your business and you're able to portray what you need quickly. It's all check boxes except for keywords, and that's something you can discuss with your advisor. But I showed step 1 and 2 because step 2 seems to be the most confusing, and I want to hopefully take the confusion out of it. You have choices, and you can choose as many as you like, or one or more. The choices are blue top subcontractors, which these are the words that are used in our program, so I put them here for clients to understand what they mean and also for the advisor to know which ones that you chose, okay? So the subcontractors, of course, is for someone who wants to do subcontracting. It is used by smaller businesses. Other federal small purchases is used if you offer business to the federal government or are looking to offer to the federal government. The SAM/FBO, and this is the same as the above, but specifically posted on the SAM database, which is the government database. USA Bid, state and local, which posts local and small bids in the area that you choose. And there is a geographical portion, which is step 3, and you can choose your geographical states that you'd like to be considering bids. And then lastly, on this section is the DLA small purchase. And this is for the Defense Logistic Agency. And that's specific for people who would be looking for contracts in that. Another category in step 2 is the foreign trade, and those are foreign trade opportunities, and there are options in the bid matching database that will choose any, if you choose foreign trade, it will give you things outside of the United States. So here is what the email will look like. So once you fill out your form and you send it back to your advisor, you'll start to get emails daily, and understand that daily. So it will check those 750 in New York if you just choose New York, or the 3,000 in the United States and subsidiaries. So it runs a program, checks amongst what you put in there as what you want it to come out as, and you get this email. So as you see, there's 3 different places where it says My Bid Match. Any one of those, if you click on, you will get to the next page. So it gives you options for you to be able to choose to go to the next page. And so we will. Once you click on the My Bid Match, it will bring up the screen above the blue line here. As you can see, it will give you many days of the postings if you need to refer back to one. It actually gives you a month look back, so keep that in mind. And the reason why it's a month is because most bids are very short term for due dates, so if you go back more than a month, the bid is probably closed. Um, and on the bottom, you can see I chose September 4th because there is one article that's there. And so once you click on the Thursday, September 4th, it brings up this line. And all of the postings will have a hyperlink to take you to the next page. So that's where you can go on and find out what this really entails. So once we click on that hyperlink, we get the top of this page above the blue line again, and it has a hyperlink that's going to take you to actually the database where it is posted. So it also gives you some little more information that keeps you, it makes your mind decide, do I want this or don't I? And then if you do, you click on the hyperlink, and even if you don't know, click on the hyperlink, and then it will take you to the database where it is posted. And I realize it's a lot of clicking, but I show you the steps because many don't go to the end to find the bid. And then they get frustrated and say, well, it's posted, but I don't see where the bid is. Well, you got to keep clicking till you get to the actual site where it is posted. And so this way you can see that those are the steps. And as you can see, the posting is there, and it is the dates will match. That way you can know if you have the right one. Sometimes they have a lot of the same wording, so that's why I make sure you can see it. So then once you click on that in the actual site, which is the city of Hartford happens to be, the main thing you want to see are the documents. And this is the last step in the bid itself. I highlighted the fact that one of the most important parts of the bid is the documents. I want to make sure the documents, I keep saying the documents, it's because that's where all of the information is going to be. This is where they will ask you for the specifics of the bid, and please note that you will need to provide everything they ask for. Or if you do not, they won't even look at your bid. If you haven't checked the boxes of where they're looking, you will be excluded. The other part is the due date. A bid submitted after the due date is null and void and will not be considered. It has to be that way because everybody has to have the same opportunity, and there's no wiggle room. So 1201 on this one was due on the 19th. So 1201 on the 20th of September, they will not accept any bids that come in. Next, we're going to look at a bid platform. And this one I chose is Bidnet because this causes the most aggravation to many of my clients. And hopefully after we go through these screens, you can see that It's not as hard, but just cumbersome. I guess those are the words I want. This is a sample listing for the BidNet database. And so as you can see, again, the hyperlink is there. And when you click on it, it comes up in BidNet. So just to show you this screen, this is the actual BidNet Direct. That's the full name of it. Sorry, BidNet Direct. This is the screen that you will get if you type in BidNet Direct, and that the link on my slide is a hyperlink, so it will take you there too. So you can log in either through the posting or through the database. So if you do it through the database, it will be vendor registration. And then it takes you to the same things that we're going to look at next, but next I'm going to show you how you would do it through the listing. So this is the listing. When you click on the link from the Bidmatch system, you will get to the screen at number 1. And you will choose Get Access instead of vendor registration. Same, it'll take you all the same place. And it will bring up number 2 screen, as I've listed here. This is where the uncertainty comes in. Please understand, you do not need to pay for the service to see the listing, but it will try to get you to buy a subscription. The subscription will get you more things, but BidNet is offered in our bid matching system, so it's a redundant purchase. And we give it to you for free, and they're going to charge you $36 a year. So it's your choice, but just so you understand, or $45. So you choose the $0 option, and it will ask you to set up a login and password, which is number 3. You will have to set up your personal information for the company, and then you will be able to see the listing. So you just have to do the prompts and you should be all set. Here are a list of places to find bids, but one thing to note is that all these options are searched through our bid matching system, which is why it's on top and in red, because it's what we offer. The only one that is not offered through the bid matching system is the open book, because this is a service that will tell you who was awarded the contract, and it's after the bid has been closed and awarded, where the bid matching is trying to get you to the bid before it closes. But here you can check. Open book is a very good resource, and that's why I put it here. It's a very good resource for you to see who has been awarded, and maybe there's a subcontracting opportunity in that. So this is me and how to get me. And I will open it up to questions, comments, whatever we got.
We now have time for you to be able to ask your questions, whether it's specifically on the Bidmatch service or something else that you're
Yep.
wondering about procurement. Now is your time. And so Gina, I did want to go over one question here. You talked about best value
Mm-hmm.
as the criteria that's the decision for many of these
RFPs.
procurement awards.
Yep.
So is that always the lowest bidder? How is
No.
best value assigned?
The best value, let me go. So the best value, I want to give it in the way they say it. They take in consideration the quality, the cost, and the efficiency. And it's an overall. So sometimes it's not the lowest bidder because they're a known contractor and they know the quality of work and they know that it's not going to go over bid, or it's the efficiency, basically how quick you can get it into service. Some people are able to better provide a better timeline because of their resources, and and if it fits better in their projected timeline, they will choose that one. So that's why an RFP is different too, because it's more broad, but it's got a lot more pieces and it's more entailed. And so they have to take all the things that are asked for into consideration.
Thanks for going back over that because
Mhm.
I know sometimes best value might seem like lowest bidder, but that's not
Exactly. I know.
always the case.
I don't like the term they use.
Gina, I'd love to have you talk for just a minute here. If somebody is brand new to using Bidmatch,
Mhm.
are there any things that you see people tend to run into trouble with Bidmatch? Or, any of those little points where it's a particularly good tip for somebody to have if they're just starting out?
Yes. One of the things that I would say, and I'm glad you asked that question because it didn't even occur to me until you said it, um, is generalities. You don't want to put in one word keywords. You don't want to put in like office or document because the results will come aplenty. And there's going to be maybe 1% of the 1,000 that you get are gonna pertain to you. What you wanna say is like office manager or contract documents or legal documents. So you gotta put a word with it, so that way it hones into what you are actually providing for service. One of the things I do tell a lot of people is to, if you have a capability statement, review it and use it. Give those words to me, give those NAICS codes to me or to your business advisor. Any one of us can do it. And oh, just so you know, yes, your business advisor can do it. If they need help, they will contact me. So you will always get a very proficient result.
Thank you. So here is a question. How to review an RFP? Are there specific resources that we have around that? Or like how do you typically go about that with clients, Gina?
Well, this is where it becomes an issue only because no one, not even the federal government, even they have so many, put them out the same. They're never they're unicorns, basically, or snowflakes, whatever you want to call them. They're just always different. My point always is read it, read it, read it. It's going to tell you something different every time. But in the end, what you want to do is go, like I said, documents, documents, documents. Go to the documents because, especially for an RFP, because it's bigger, they're going to want to take everybody's documents and lay them against each other and say they picked this number or that number, they're gonna stare and compare. So if you are very exact in what you fill out and follow their directions to a T, you will stand out in comparison to those who don't follow the directions. Because if they're looking at section one and they want specific things in section one, and the next person decides they put NA, right? Because they just don't want to answer, they don't think they can answer. The NA is going out, you're still staying on the desk. So know that clear, concise, and follow the directions. It's what I can tell anyone and everyone on any of these will help you get where you need to be.
All right. So another question, if someone is starting out, what's the best way to help them when they're trying to write an actual proposal? Do you have any tips? I know you just said be very clear
Yep.
and concise on everything. What other tips on that proposal writing process do you have?
I would say go to open book and see if there's been others that have been sort of like that description. The other thing I would say is, because I'm going to plug the SBDC, of course, we have a research network of unbelievable librarians. They can find the needle in 17 haystacks. So if you need more information and you're concise in how you want it, you can ask your advisor and they can send in a research network request. Now, It will take a couple days, maybe. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not, but they're thorough, so they're gonna take so if you see that you want something like that, ask on day 1. Don't ask 2 days before the bid is due. So if it's something that you think you're gonna be able to do and you want more information, go to your advisor immediately and say, "I love this, but I'm not sure I'm good with it. Can I have this?" And what they'll do is they'll give you, company or product history or company history or what's been out there before and just everything. And the wealth of knowledge that you're going to get is a lot. So be ready.
All right, another question on, let's see. So you had mentioned the USA BID and DLA small purchases as
Hmm.
data sources.
Hmm.
Would you mind elaborating on those again?
Okay, so the USA bid, that's just a category. And in that category, if you want more local or small bids, you would choose that category, and it will check the bidding platforms that carry those. In the DLA, same thing. Um the DLA small purchases, Defense Logistic Agency, they have a database that's just small purchases. So if you think that you can provide to the government, but you only want, it's small, you choose that, and then you will receive the bidding that falls into that category.
Got it. Thank you for
Mhm.
clarifying that.
Mhm.
And I do want to remind everybody on the call today, so here at the NYSBDC, becoming a client is no cost, and Bidmatch is no cost. And our research services, which Gina mentioned, we do have a fantastic research team, and they do just excellent, excellent work. And they are also no cost to you. So kind of the best deal going. All right.
Exactly.
We'll give people just a minute more
Yes.
to put in any last minute questions here, but I do want to mention as well that all of our local centers have Gina as a resource. So the way that you would work with Gina is you would sign up with your local center, and then as the in-house procurement expert statewide for the NYSBDC, that local center and Gina are then able to work together to help best meet your needs. So if you are interested in working with Gina, you can go ahead and sign up with your local center at nysbdc.org. And there's a big red book appointment button, and that's the one you click to get started on that process. Okay, well, I don't think we have any more questions right now, so we can go ahead and wrap up for today. You
Okay.
will see a survey as we shut things down. We love to get your feedback, and we hope to see you on the 29th to go over all of these certifications that are available to businesses and get you access to specially earmarked projects, and they can be a great benefit to businesses who qualify. So that is on the 29th at 11 a.m. And thank you so much, Gina. Thank you so much to everyone who attended today. We appreciate you and your questions, and definitely hope that this has been helpful. The survey will ask you about what other things could be helpful to you as you are working on your business. So please give us those ideas. We'd love to hear from attendees. All right. Gina, any parting words for us today?
Just thank you for attending and hope to see you in 3 weeks. And if ever you need us, you know how now to find us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Enjoy.